Learning something new is hard, especially a new language.
My Spanish starts and ends at Audios.
Make it easy on yourself with Babbel. In just 10 minutes a day, you can start having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Hola, Espanol.
It starts here. To try Babbel free, text radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000.
It's time for the True Sports Card Show.
The only 1 hour radio show that gives you the very latest in sports memorabilia news from around the world.
Here are your hosts, industry expert Imran Pilati and Sacktown Sports 49ers insider Emil Fragoso.
Flutes. Me gusta the flutes.
I like them.
Good morning. It's Saturday morning, the 23rd of March. We are here with my co-host, Emil Fragoso. Hi. Nate behind the window, and a special guest who's not really a guest much anymore. The man, the myth, the legend, Tim Shepler, a.k.a. Big Shep.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody? Good morning.
The third banana's here.
You're calling me a banana.
No, he's the third banana.
I know, but what are the other two?
The banana boat, obviously.
Oh, my goodness.
The famous banana boat.
What a start to the Saturday morning.
LeBron, Wade, and Carmelo.
Whoa, what banana am I?
Darko.
Darko banana?
If you went to Carmelo and all those other guys, right?
Oh, my God.
Darko?
Okay, I got it now. The banana boat guys.
The famous photo of LeBron and vacationing with the
Dwayne Chris Wade Paul.
And Chris Paul. That's what it was.
Dwayne Wade. Oh. Carmelo was not on the banana boat.
Was he not?
He was hanging out with Ant.
You are the Carmelo of this.
Okay. All right, got a gold medal.
What a great start to the show.
I know, right?
Great job, guys.
Oh, man.
Way to go.
Crazy.
Excellent. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you here in the YouTube chat if you'd like to say hi.
Please.
About the cards. We've got the screen and go.
I just wanted to remind everyone that's there.
There's a rumor that Scott Marsh is listening. I can't confirm or deny that. So, Scott, I'd like to apologize ahead of time. The show is much, much worse usually. That's how bad this one is. So. Yeah. Here we go. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. So let's start off with some housekeeping. We have some events that have been happening or about to happen. Shep, why don't you fill us in with what's going on at the True Sports Cards ecosphere?
Oh, we got a lot going on. Right now, currently, as Emma and I are sitting here, we're down at the Sacramento show at the Wyndham off 80 and Madison. So we got Pete and Donovan out there, some bunch of our teams out there doing cards. We also have the shop open right now. So swing by and say hi to Dave and the crew. And Ethan up at the shop. A lot of things going on. Emran, do you want to start off the show with the breaking news, or we want to hold off that till the end?
I don't know about our show.
About our show.
Oh, we'll load them all up at the front.
Okay.
Let's talk about next Saturday, a week from today. Let's start from that.
Yeah, a week from today, Saturday, the 30th, 3 p.m. at the Roseville Galleria, the True Sports Cards shop, which right now says American Visions Gallery, next to Rolex, across from Apple. We're going to have Red Velvet, Kevin Herter, signing with us in shop at 3 p.m. Now, there's a caveat.
There's a caveat.
He is injured, and we're waiting for 100% confirmation he's going to be hanging out with us.
Poor Kevin. Poor Kevin. So we watched it. I actually thought when the game happened, I watched it on the replay. I was not watching the game live, and I get this text message in our group chat that says, "Oh, no, Herter." That's not a good sign in any way. Let alone the fact that we have an exclusive agreement with Kevin as our exclusive memorabilia partnership with him. And so I watched the replay, and it looked like to me when Bain, I think it was Bain that hit him, right? Desmond Bain hits him on his arm. I thought he broke his arm. I thought it looked floppy, like he flopped his arm.
Yeah.
But come to find out later that it was a separated shoulder, and now they've confirmed it as a dislocated shoulder and a torn labrum.
Correct.
All right. So, with that said, I talked to his agent this week. They were unsure what was happening. I'm not quite sure what the status is of his signing. They're supposed to update me in the next 24 hours. So coming live on air was a little difficult because I don't have the answers just yet. But here's what I will tell you. For those of you that have a Herter ticket, if for some reason the signing is postponed, of course, we're going to refund you your money. You don't have to worry about that aspect of stuff. More importantly, we will be scheduling Kevin for a future date if he is not able to sign this upcoming weekend. So we'll keep you all updated. And that's the beauty of it is if you've bought a ticket, you've registered your email, we will let you know via email as soon as possible, as soon as we can confirm. Shouts out to Kevin. I'm hoping that that you recover quickly. I've heard that the labrum tear takes anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks if they've
Yeah.
confirmed it. And this is a tough injury for the Kings just in general.
Yeah.
No matter what Kevin was doing, he's a 6'7" shooting guard, scoring 10 points a game, shooting 38% from the field, from three. And he was playing really good defense. He really was. And to have that loss and move Keon into the starting lineup like they have, it weakens the bench. So in general, it's just not a good thing all the way around. But we're pretty fortunate that Kevin may still be signing with us this next weekend, depending on his scheduling of his recovery.
Yep.
He may have to go.
And we
somewhere.
got some cool jerseys in of Kevin to sign. We'll have photos and that stuff. So let's keep our fingers crossed that he'll be able to hang out with us and do that. So
Expo.
Also, man, the Sacramento Autograph and Sports Card Expo that we're putting on May 17th through the 19th. And did you know it's at the grounds in Roseville?
I did know it's at the grounds.
Yes.
Do you know,
Did you, Shep?
do you
I
know what
do.
the website is, Shep?
Yes.
All right.
TrueSportsCards.com will lead you everywhere you want to go for our show.
But there's its own website for it, Shep. Did
And
you know that
no,
too?
I don't. What is
You
it?
don't know?
I can't remember.
It's SacAutographExpo.com,
There we
Shep.
go. And it's even the website created. But listen, again,
God.
let's recap the names we're having here. Ricky Henderson, Dennis Rodman, Johnny Manziel, Randy Johnson, Vlad Guerrero Sr., the sixth man of the year, Malik Monk. I'm telling you, he's going to win it.
He's got to
Also, we announced this week Dave Stewart. And
Yeah,
I guarantee she's going to like it too. She's going to love it. Frank the Big Hurt Thomas.
Yes.
Frank Thomas is coming out to hang out with us
I casually dropped that on a Wednesday.
on just a random Wednesday.
Random
You're
Wednesday.
just dropping names left and right. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, there's more?
It means
There's more?
me. So for those of you that are interested in getting tickets to the Autograph Expo, which is happening May 17th through 19, just under 2 months from now, go to TrueSportsCards.com, as Shep said, or as Emran says, go to SacAutographExpo.com, and you'll be able to get your tickets for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll be announcing what you're going to be getting with. There'll be a swag bag that you'll get for each day that you're attending if you have a ticket for that. We have tickets available for you to pick up for each of the autograph guests. We will be adding a free guest on Friday. We'll be adding a free guest on Sunday with admission. Details to come. I'm still working on that.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this list. There's 8 people on this list. 5 Hall of Famers, a Heisman Trophy winner, a Cy Young Award winner, and a superstar in our current Sacramento Kings. I mean, that's a
Fan
lineup.
favorite.
Yes.
Our Sacramento Kings.
Yes.
The hit of the show last year,
And
I
this is
remember.
and this
Yes,
is how we're going
sold
to keep him in Sac. Is we're going to show him the love so he re-signs here because he loved coming and hanging out with us so much that we're gonna keep him on the Kings for the next handful of years.
That's
And there's
interesting-
more names to come, right?
There's an interesting lead in, and let's just quickly talk about this. Malik Monk will be a Sacramento King when he's signing at the Autograph Expo.
Correct.
Hopefully, we'll have an extension past that. Emil, I know that he is up against his contract right now, and right now, for some reason, it's part of the conversation on the free agency. I don't know why it just bumped up in not only local media but also in national media. Talk to us about his contract situation.
Yeah, Malik Monk's contract is going to be up after this year. He signed a 2-year, I believe, $18 million deal. Not the last offseason, but the offseason before that to come and join with the Kings. And he's been a hit ever since. And there's been some rumors and some reports that he's going to get a deal potentially in the excess of $100 million coming up here from other teams. There's a lot of suitors I have heard. I've heard one of them is the Orlando Magic are interested in potentially adding Malik Monk. It's all rumors and reports hearsay right now until the summer. But if we want to sign Malik Monk, and please re-sign Malik Monk, Sacramento, it's going to take a lot of financial income.
I actually have some info on the Malik, why it blew up and all that stuff. Anthony Slater wrote an article, Athletic, right?
Yeah,
Anthony Slater.
he works for the Athletic, and then he also writes for the Warriors.
Yeah, so he had a one-on-one with Malik, and Malik, he asked him, he's like, "Do you like coming off the bench?" And Malik just bluntly said, "Hell no." He doesn't like coming off the bench.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was that's how it was. So there's been a lot of debate this week on all of our shows about how that's going to work, and if Malik, part of the contract, if he re-signs with the Kings, if he'll get that starting spot, because no doubt this dude is at least the third best player on the Kings.
Yeah.
You put him in front of who?
I mean, everyone except Fox and Sabonis.
Okay, I was going to say, so you put him in front of Keegan.
Yeah, and honestly, no, I don't know. He might be playing better ball than Fox some nights, but I can't say right now.
Fox has been a little inconsistent, so I understand that. I get it.
These
Well,
photos you took of me are horrible.
Yeah, they're great. Who did I take? Who is the subject of the photo?
I mean, these are horrible photos. I'm trying to
Well,
think.
I bet you'll like this next topic a little bit more as we move
I
on.
bet she'll like it too.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
bet she'll like it too. No, there's some big things that happened this last week. We had the groundbreaking news that Shohei Ohtani's longtime interpreter and now former interpreter Yippee Mazahara was using funds of Ohtani's to do some offshore gambling.
Or as I like to call him now, show me the money. Anyway,
Somebody took Shohei's face and put on Pete Rose's body.
Oh
Would
my
that not? And they
gosh.
said, "Is this not the greatest baseball player of all time?" Yeah. So ESPN reported about 4.5 million in wire transfers were sent from Ohtani's bank account in California to bookmaker who's under federal investigation. And Mazahara, who's his longtime interpreter, was fired Wednesday by the Dodgers because of this. And so, do you believe that the interpreter just took the heat for Shohei, or do you believe it was him doing it and Shohei was maybe aware, not aware, but looked the other way?
100% it was the interpreter.
Yeah.
100% it was the interpreter. Look, Shohei's been a very private guy.
Yeah.
Not only in the world of baseball, but just outside in life. I mean, we just found out that he was married like last
And
week
she's like a superstar basketball player.
in Japan.
Yeah.
We had no idea. No one knew he was even like married or who he was involved with. Shohei's a very private person. So while it's possible he could be private for, well,
I apologize,
Sorry.
guys. You know,
Okay.
Yeah.
okay, a little behind the curtains.
Yeah.
A little behind the curtains. Nate just said something in our earpieces
Yeah.
We
that
can.
that froze the
Froze the
chat.
froze me.
Yes.
Very rarely I get frozen from that one.
I
but
didn't
it
mean to
froze
ruin the show.
Go-
like
no,
that.
go-
I'm sorry.
Nate, we'll see you in a few minutes.
Well, just don't cuss is what I was saying.
Yes.
Because I'll be right back. Sorry to ruin your show.
I wasn't sure what he was. I thought
I thought I said something.
no, I was
thought
trying to say it quiet
Oh.
in your ear just to let you know.
I
I'll
was
be
like,
right
wait,
back.
what?
I was getting sweet
Hey,
whispers.
before you leave, can I get a goat?
I've
you-
done- I've-
You
there we
are the
go.
goat. Thank you.
There we go. I've said things before
Continue.
and not realized it. So
Oh, I have too. That's why I was confused.
We're acting like we're podcasters right now.
Yes.
But we're on the radio
We're
because
live, baby.
we don't edit this stuff out
We-
like a podcast.
hey, listen, I did a live
This is
podcast before.
horrible.
We did it. Yeah, there's no rope. There's no barriers. And hey,
All right.
Just roll through.
Please-
yeah, Ohtani.
please, you were
Ohtani's
talking.
wife, basketball superstar,
Thank you.
private guy.
Look. It's always possible he could be private for other reasons, including the gambling situation. He could have been involved, possibly. I just don't see it. And from reading reports coming out from Jeff Passan and other ESPN reporters, people that have talked with the interpreter, who is now taken back one story and given out another because of the attorneys. I believe that it was the interpreter that was taking funds out of Shohei's account or finding ways out of it. And maybe Shohei knew about it, but I don't think it was Shohei placing those bets. And even players have come out, not said names, but have come out and said, Shohei's not like that. He doesn't really watch other sports or anything like that. He's really just focused on baseball. So I definitely think it was the interpreter that was kind of behind all this. And it's unfortunate to see that this is a reality now for a guy who just had a mega deal with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
And I do believe, like, honestly, like the way baseball works and the commissioner, if it was something, I think at this point, they're just going to look into it and then they're going to look the other way. We're not going to hear anything of this because of his status. And they don't want another Pete Rose thing, especially with Shohei being the face of baseball and everything right now. All I know is I learned from him he's married and having a superstar wife, basketball player. I'm investing in Shohei Ohtani Jr. right now. Not even sure if that'll ever come, but that's who I'm putting future bets on. That kid will be amazing.
Like, how tall is he going to be?
All right. So
Jeez, he's gonna be
I'm
tall.
in disagreement with both of you.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
This comes from
This comes from experience of knowing
Kenny.
people in the backgrounds.
Yeah.
All right. There's no way that somebody's going to have access to my bank account for $4.5 million worth of spend without me knowing. Shep has been working with me since the beginning. He has access to our account for our company. If I saw $1 missing, I would let Shep know that I would go, what's going on here?
He's seen my bought some on Amazon for $5.
I didn't authorize that. To see $4.5 million missing, I don't care what you make, you're going to notice it's missing.
Yeah.
Okay. So in my opinion, you're aware of it. I think the other issue that I see here is somebody's got to take the fall. The translator falls on the sword.
mhm.
They are really good friends. They are really good friends.
Very close.
Very close. And I think the other portion of this is that you're right, Shep. He is the face of baseball.
Yep.
And the last time that we had a gambling issue with somebody that was the face of the sport, it happened to be a guy named Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Yeah.
Who retired
For 2 years.
for 1.5 years, retired to play baseball.
Yeah.
Boy, that doesn't that seem kind of unique?
Yes.
And the conspiracy theorists out there, and I've believed it more now that I'm an adult and looking into it. That was a hiatus that was forced upon him.
Yes. And then also, too, the bizarre murder of his dad, because he was found off the side of a highway in his car. And there's things believed that Michael owed money to some people, and he didn't. He said, "I'm Michael Jordan, I'm not paying you." And
We're not saying that this happened.
no, but
that is
but this is
factual.
all
That is
all
factual.
his dad was
speculation here.
murdered and found in a car off the side of the highway. People have put together, because of where his dad was found and all these other things, it goes into why he was suspended and a bunch of things put to, it's NBA was weird. And again, it goes back to Patrick Ewing lottery, David Stern covering things.
I mean, look, there's big business. And when you have the face of the sport, the highest profile free agent, the most paid person ever in team sports, this is a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's kind of quiet, strangely enough, even though it's everywhere, it's not as everywhere as it should be. Like, this is a very, very, very big deal.
It is.
And I think that this, in the hobby aspect of things, will affect his prices. I think that baseball of all sports is the most shake your finger at the bad actors out there. That's why we have the Pete Rose issue. He accepted baseball betting being a problem. He accepted a lifetime ban, and he's later said, "Look, I did it. I'm sorry. I bet on baseball." And there's still absolutely not integrity of the game. Meanwhile, we have racists and murderers in the Hall of Fame,
bigots and all
right?
those
All those
bad
the
dudes
Ty
out
Cobbs
there.
of the world.
Yep.
But Pete Rose bet on baseball, and he bet on his own team. But he bet on his own team to win. He never bet on his own team to lose.
Yeah.
I think there is an integrity of the game portion that we have to think about with the betting. It really comes down to, is it Calvin Ridley who decided to bet into a NCAA pool like a million people did in the United States, or is somebody betting and has the influence to affect the game?
Yeah.
I'd really be interested to see where these bets were placed and what games or sports these bets were placed. I don't see anything yet.
No. And
It's
usually
been
there's that
discovered.
report comes out. And I'm also concerned too. MLB is one of the sports that's one of the leagues, the professional leagues, partnering with gambling sites as a major sponsor or, partner. So to me, it's odd. It's like if they partnered with a steroid dealer, then to be, oh yeah, these are great. Take them, use them.
Yeah.
But if our players do, nope, you're out of the league. It's a weird spot to be in. And the reason they're doing it, there's so much money there. There is so much money with betting and all this gambling. And to me, there's a lot more to the story. We're not seeing it.
For the hobby aspect,
Yep.
I really do believe this will affect his prices, or it may not affect his prices, but it'll affect his collectability. People won't be as interested in doing that. We have all kinds of examples of the hobby shaking their finger. Ask Tatis if his cards have recovered.
Yep.
Right? They have not. Wander's done in toast. I'm trying to think of other ones that have been. Go back a little bit. Ryan Braun,
Yeah.
the baseball player.
Karl Malone now, like
Carl Malone.
Hall of Famer. No one
Stockton,
no one cares.
same thing.
Yep.
Who?
Stockton.
John
The-
Stockton.
The COVID, all that stuff
Oh,
that
yeah.
came
All that
out.
stuff.
And
Yeah.
was people just were like, okay, cool.
I'm out.
I mean, there's it's easy to cancel people out in 2024 because non-factual information comes out often. And that's why I want to be careful when we're saying stuff like, oh yeah, Jordan's dad this, and I just want to be careful because it's factual that he was killed. What's not factual is how to tie anything into it. So I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that show that just does a bunch of speculation.
Yeah. About that cards, just put in the chat, Josh Giddey as well. Another good example.
Yeah, and
Just this year.
Yeah, Josh Giddey
Yeah.
as well, and he was cleared from that. So there's a lot of things that ends up happening to where people are not forgiving, and it really comes down to it to where I think Ohtani is one of those guys that may get a pass, strangely enough, because he's so popular and so many people are in the
People
hobby.
don't
have
want it to be
invested.
true. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
He's
People don't
larger
wanna
than
believe it.
baseball. He's larger than baseball right now, I'd say. I think he's bigger than the MLB. He is the biggest star they have had in a very, very long time. And he's
Playing in the second largest market in the United States.
Exactly. Everything is falling in line for this guy to be the breadwinner for however long the MLB wants to be around. It's this guy's going to be the one. And for this to come out right with the start of the season as well is just such a bad look.
He said about the cards. I'm guessing it's your buddy.
It's probably Steph. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's saying trivia for the chat. What year was the last Pete Rose Topps card? It's not in 1989. What? Do you know the answer?
Yeah, it is. Is it 88?
No, he says when was the last one?
Oh, I think it was 89. He's
89 is manager.
It's not 89 though, he said.
Oh.
So he's saying it was
was he in like a Topps now?
I'm sure he's in a lot of that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, Steph. Has
Would they
weird
do like a
knowledge.
throwback for him like recently, or the MLB?
You know what? I know because he can't be in cards, but there was a picture I believe where Pete's in it was a team like a throwback card of the Reds.
He's in cards.
He's in a picture, but not Topps cards.
No, he's in Leaf. He's in a bunch of other ones.
But Topps put out a card where he's in it
Oh.
and Major League logos on it and all that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I remember that was
the answers in the chat.
He says 1991.
Okay.
Well, I looked in the Beckett from 1990 the other day, and Pete Rose was number one on the cold list.
Yes,
So.
that was fun.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, your buddy Jimmy Spence made some moves this last week.
He did. Tell us about it.
Yeah, he sold. He's Certified Collectibles Group, CCG, the leader in authentication and grading collectibles. They announced they are acquiring James Spence Authentication, one of the big leaders in the autograph authentication. James, and we work Jimmy and his team quite a bit. They're going to combine their efforts to do one seamless autograph collecting, authentication, grading, encapsulation, and be the top. They're trying to go after be a top dog. So, what does this mean for the future of JSA and CCG? What do you see them doing? How does this help them out? Why would they do this partnership at this time?
Well, a couple things. First of all, shout out Jamie. Congratulations, my friend. He's one of the great guys in the business. He was an interview guest with us about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And I had texted him about 10 minutes after the word got out. I got a phone call from one of the reps high up at Spence Authentication about 10 minutes before the story broke. They're like, hey, Cameron, you work with us often. We love you, blah, blah, blah. And this is about to happen. And I was like, oh, okay. Because when you hear news like that, you're thinking, what happens to not only the company, but what happens to my relationships?
Yep.
Or is it going to be replaced with a bunch of different new people that I just won't know who they are? Do I go to the back of the line again? There's a lot of things that go through your head as a business person, but I'm happy for Jimmy. I'm happy for the rest of their team. I will tell you that one of the things that we as a company sub for PSA and SGC for graded cards. And as we know, Collectors, the parent company of PSA, bought SGC roughly about 4 weeks ago. It was the talk of the hobby.
Yeah, it was.
And I've been pushing for them being SGC, to grade and authenticate on-card autographs that are not pack pulled. I went to the ballpark. I had Kevin Herter sign it. I said ballpark, and then I went to the arena. I had Kevin Herter sign it. I'm going to submit it, and I'm going to get PSA DNA to authenticate it and slab it. SGC used to do it. They didn't do it again. I've been bugging them forever to do it because the only option you had was PSA DNA. There was no other. Oh, yeah. Beckett too, but yeah, I'm just not a fan of Beckett's grading system. I'm a fan of the baby. Fan of the baby.
Thank you,
Beckett. Yeah,
good to know.
So here we are. CSG, or Certified Collectibles Group, CCG, same company, is stepping into that. I think by getting JSA on their team, they're going to be rivaling PSA DNA of getting encapsulated cards. Now, I've said this before in past shows. On the West Coast, for some reason, memorabilia doesn't resonate the same way it does on the East Coast. And one of the big things that doesn't resonate out here is autograph encapsulated cards. I don't know why. I don't get it, because getting a signed rookie card and having it encapsulated and having that auto grade, that's a huge, huge deal. And I own a lot of that stuff. But on the East Coast, when I'm at a Philly show or the Chantilly show or something in in Southern Florida, these shows are inundated with autographed signed cards that have been slabbed by PSA DNA. and they sell like crazy. There's a premium. They do really well. I just don't get it. Maybe sometime on the West Coast, they'll stop looking past shiny and they'll actually see, hey, you know what's neat?
Yeah.
I have a Jerry West autographed card on his rookie that's been slabbed and graded a gem mint 10 on the auto grade.
Yeah, no, I think it's because in California we're a little snooty and we want that pack pulled.
Oh yeah.
And I can tell you, I was personally, before working with Imran, that in-person auto to me was like, sitting down, talking with him, experiencing, getting to meet the player, getting to sign the card, and having that experience, then getting it encapsulated later in my collection has been amazing. I love it. And now it's like my thing is when we have these guys come, I get them an autograph. I mean, I had an 86 Donruss Jose Canseco that I had him signed, and I got to talk to Jose, and he signed it for me. And that's a card that was $100 when I was a kid. It's maybe $5, $10 card now, depending on the condition. But when he signed it, I was like that's in a highlight moment of my collecting career because like this was the mantle of my childhood. And to have it signed and meet the guy, I mean, it was super cool. And now I have it, and there's a story. So I think too, there's some intrinsic value into that, but also too, them building that collection of saying like, hey, look, I got this collection of Hall of Fame autograph rookie cards. And when you look down and see it, it's quite amazing to see like some of these guys maybe not around anymore and to acquire their autographs. And
I will say this too. I was doing some pricing last night. We bought a collection and I was doing some pricing of slabs last night. And there was just a mix of slabs. The majority were PSA slabs. Then there was a couple Beckett slabs and there was a couple CSG slabs. Dude, I'm telling you, they have the best slabs in the business. They really do. They're beautiful. They have like rounded corners. So it sounds weird, but if you ever get your hands on a CSG slab, they're awesome. Very clean. And they even have a pristine, which PSA doesn't have. They have gem mint 9.5s, and then they have pristine 10s, and the pristine pops. When you see the actual, maybe Emil, if you could take a look and see what that would look like. It's pretty incredible how their slabs look. And their value is creeping. I would tell you that it's probably equivalent with Beckett's value right now, as far as cards are concerned. If a PSA card is $100, a PSA 10, I would say an SGC 10's roughly in the modern market, roughly about 85% of that value. And then I would say that Beckett is somewhere around 80-ish%. I think CGC is right around that same thing.
Yeah, they're nice cards. They're very nice looking cards.
Beautiful slabs.
They are.
And so if they come in with autograph encapsulation on top of their grading and CSG, CGC, whatever combination, there's a bunch of different combinations depending on what division that they're grading. They are number one in comic books. They're number one in that. I believe they do coins as well.
Yes. And
they do non-sport. And so a lot of that stuff is really kind of popping right now. So congrats to JSA. I talked to Jimmy via text, and he said that I guess he has a media run that he needs to do and get some information out there to the world on their own control. But he's going to be a guest here in the next couple of weeks, and he's already confirmed that.
Wonderful.
So we'll get him here in probably mid-April to kind of give us the idea of what that looks like. All right, so we've got quite a few things in the chat here. Big Chef speaking facts is Crypto Panda.
Hey, fans.
It's
my burner account.
Is it?
It's my burner account. I had to log into my phone real quick and put that in
Big
there.
Chef is the NFL.
Yes.
Big Chef
He's
is
a handsome man.
Yeah,
and Andy Broom is now the head grader. So that Andy Broom worked for Beckett for a long time and really well respected. So that's he works for CCG. So that's a good thing over there. So that hopefully they can do some cool stuff and get those slabs, and that'd be awesome.
I just think that
because you've been bugging JSA about slabbing cards,
forever.
So maybe this is what spurned Jimmy's like Hamron said. who slabs cards that doesn't do autograph authentication? Emran told me, hey, CCG. Emran said I should partner with you.
He said buy us so that way I can.
So I can do what
finish
Emran
Emran's
wants.
dreams.
I can complete it. Yes.
Topps Dynasty is a big conversation this week. Talk to us, Shep.
It is a big boy price. So Topps Dynasty dropped. So the product comes out on a Wednesday. The checklist didn't drop until like real late on Tuesday, and there was a huge surprise on it. Topps has an exclusive deal with a basketball player.
Well, there's only two Dynasty products.
Yes,
baseball and
F1.
F1. That's right.
And wild pricing. But no, you can get Victor Wembanyama rookie patch autographs.
He's pretty good.
Yes, rookie patch autographs in Topps Dynasty. It's going to be the first one because unfortunately Panini's not able to produce cards with an autograph of Victor, but Topps has that. And they put him on a card with another guy who's a little smaller, 6'9", or however tall Judge is. He could be 7'3". I don't know. He's over 6'6".
I wouldn't say he's small.
Yeah, Judge and Victor on the same dual card. And it also, there's one where he drew like aliens and stuff because LeBron calls him the alien.
He drew mustache on his face.
Yes.
did.
This is Victor drawing on Victor.
Victor, yeah.
It's a 1 of 1.
Yeah, drawing on his own card.
Yeah, he
There's
draws
like
a mustache.
spaceship.
By the
Yeah.
way,
Mustache.
pretty good handwriting. Pretty good penmanship.
Yeah, he's
Better than some in the room right now.
or Pete or Pete.
Or
Oh.
Pete, yeah.
Pete from our store.
You slandered Dave last week. Now it's Pete. I like it. You just pull a name out of the
Hey,
hat.
it's just a roast. It's
Love
just
it.
a roast.
I slandered Dave.
$1,300 for this box of Topps Dynasty. You're getting a lot of cards in it. You're getting 2. Oh, 1.
Oh, wow.
You're getting 1 card.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
One
it's
pack,
good.
one card.
Good
Well,
luck.
again, you're talking this is the top tier of Hall of Famers, like super duper stars like Trout and Ohtani. Like my guy George Brett could make the list.
Each card is numbered
Would it?
10 or less.
Yes.
And you're getting an on-card autograph relic. Now, the relics are game used, including jersey patches, event baseballs, and batting gloves. And you're also seeing stuff from WBC, the World Baseball Classic, as well.
Yes.
So there's a lot of unique stuff in here.
Oh.
You're probably going to get crushed. Okay,
Well, I mean,
What's the price point?
1,300.
That's it.
but you're getting an on-card auto that's numbered to 10 or less, or it could be a 1 of 1 as well. So
Ju-
are you really
Justify
getting
any way
crushed?
you want.
And
You're
a
going to get
game-used
crushed, and
patch.
you're going to get crushed more than half the time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, because even if you pull a Trout out of 10,
You know what I don't want to be?
It's a
Let me just say this to them.
Trying to paint a picture.
This is what I want to tell our audience. I'm not going to be telling you this is awesome, and I'm internally going, can you believe I said that was awesome? It's not.
You're not gonna go bang.
No,
Yeah.
this is just
bang! Rafael Devers out of 10.
look. If you have expendable income, there are far better options than a $1,300 one shot pack. Now you're not gonna get the same type of level cards when you're buying a box of 2024 Series 1 baseball tops for $100. Okay.
Mhm.
It's just not going to happen. So, of course, risk versus reward. But I think it's really important for us to state the
Well,
true facts of it all.
If there's a certain one you're looking besides the Wemby card, right? And you want that Trout, or you're a Devers collector, whoever's in that set that you're trying to get, just take the $1,300 and try to go buy the card itself, because
Yeah.
you're probably going to have a really good chance at getting the card you want.
Well, here's the other option. You take the $1,300, you give it to Shohei Ohtani, and he turns it into
$1 million.
There you go.
Zero.
there's that option
He
too.
might be a really bad gambler.
Well,
but
you know what they say? They say, the best way to become a millionaire is start by being a billionaire and gamble.
yes,
It's true.
ask Charles. So who's but okay, I have a question. Who, quote, is collecting Wemby? Aren't just people collecting Wemby to flip him?
Yes.
And if you say you're collecting Wemby, you're full of it because you're collecting it because you want to sell it later for more money than what you paid.
I have a disagreement on that.
Okay.
I'm collecting Wemby because I like Wemby. I think he could be the greatest basketball player of all time. I think that's very much a possibility with this guy, and that's why I'm any Wemby I kind of want, unless I get an outrageous offer, I'm holding.
And I think you're more in the minority in this, and it's not a wrong thing. I love to collect, but the issue is I think people say they're collecting him. It's just because I can buy him for $15 today and sell him for $100 tomorrow because of whatever. I saw the guy play live in person. I've watched the highlight. It's like anything I've ever seen.
The
before.
dunk he had last night was ridiculous.
How about that 3-pointer from like between the
He starts the
three-point line
game
and
with a
half court?
logo 3, and then he blocks GD Jackson on one end, then runs up the floor and somehow grabs the ball from the free throw line.
Can we throw him in the
Dude,
dunk
that was
contest?
sick. That was sick. And you know what else? They lost
Yes, and they're not winning.
Because they're not
But-
a good team.
No.
99 to 97 last
Lost
night. they
to the
lost.
G League Grizzlies.
Yes.
But
So that's my
he's
question.
amazing.
Yeah, like you look at his stat line, he did something only David Robinson's done since 1990. Was like the 20 to 15, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, whatever. He had a whole bunch of boards and rebounds and blocks and steals, all that stuff. It's just different. But what are you doing? I mean, you said you're collecting unless you get a crazy one.
Mhm.
Imran, you have you're moving on as fast as you can, right? You're selling it before you got it.
He's a shot
I talked to Tommy last weekend, owner of NorCal Sports Cards.
Uh-oh.
I caught him at the show in San Francisco. We talked for a little bit, and he told me some true facts that are way, way, way different than what the narrative has been out there regarding the Wemby 1-of-1 that was
There's
pulled
always-
in the story. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not my story to tell. Tommy has his own YouTube channel, and what he told me really opened my eyes to what wasn't given to the general public. Okay. And there was definitely some PSA eyes watching the item being cleaned.
Yes.
Okay. That's a fact from what I heard. Here's where I'll leave it to you. And it wasn't any kind of modification to it. I want to be really clear.
It
was
cleaned
like,
it.
It was like, let me say that,
Okay.
Emil, don't say anything because I don't want us to get in trouble here.
Okay.
It was a wipe. It was a wipe cleaning. There was nothing, there was no craziness put on there. And that came straight from them. And I just hope that information gets out there because the internet is ablaze regarding this card.
Yeah.
Okay. In what I've learned, they did nothing wrong. Okay. So just, I want to state that as a fact. We have a responsibility as a radio station show to say that. So I didn't want any words put in my mouth. Sorry, Emil. I just want to make sure it was clear.
No, I get you.
Because this is $1 million card.
yeah, if not more. And
Yeah.
And I just saw on Whatnot, is it up for auction? I just saw it because I know that they turned down an offer. It's not my
Yeah,
business
okay,
telling
yeah.
me what the offer, tell what the offer was.
Yeah.
Pretty significant. I will tell you this, Shep, your question was, would you move on from Wemby? In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
The second that I would get a card that had a value that I was comfortable with taking, I'd take it in a heartbeat.
Mhm.
Emil's a different game because you're playing the long game and make sure. Here's what worries me. He's better than everybody I'm about to name. Sean Bradley, Jorge Mirazon, Manute Bull.
Yao Ming.
I'm making all these comments as semi-joke, but as a guy that knows, like I was friends with Mark Eaton before he passed away. Mark Eaton's 7'4".
Mhm.
Mark Eaton had what they determined was a heart attack while he was riding his bike. Now he lived into his 50s, etc. But just the body structure, when you're 7'3", your heart has to do a lot more work than a regular sized person. And your heart, your body, your limbs, everything. And so you don't see a lot of longevity in really tall people in the case of sports.
Mhm.
They live long lives. Yao Ming is now nice and chubby, actually, at
Yeah.
7'1" or 2.
Kareem's still kicking it.
Who?
Kareem.
Kareem's still kicking it. So you have all these guys that live long lives, but as far as their playing game, as far as their peak, they're not as extended out like a LeBron or somebody that's going to be there for a long time.
You look, Yao's feet failed him. He
Mhm.
played what, 8-9 years?
Yep.
Yep.
And they were great productive years, except for the very end. I think the last 2 or 3 seasons, he was in and out.
He was broken down.
Greg Oden came into the league, was going to be a monster, looked great, and he couldn't stay healthy. So that's the one thing that scares me with him being so tall. Now, you look at somebody like Shaq, who is 7'1", 300 and something pounds. 7'1's, once you get over, I think 7 foot, 7'1", and you're getting 2, 7'3", 7'4", those guys are longevity, just the way they're built. You look at Victor's body style, he's skinny. And, that's the thing with Chet that scares me a little bit. And with him and, like Sangoon's a little bit like that, but it's just, that's why I'm cautioning on Wemby. And if someone offered me over $1 million for a card, I don't care really who it is. My wife would, and she would be like, "You're selling the car. I'm leaving you and taking half." So
Shaq had the most dominant years. Shaq had his most dominant years from 92 to 2008.
Yeah.
So Magic, Lakers, and Heat. But he played an additional 4 years after that.
Ooh.
And the teams were the Phoenix
the
Suns,
Cavs,
Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Boston Celtics.
and he was fat Shaq.
Oh, and he was just. It was
He's
like,
better
is-
shape now.
Is that
Yeah, he is.
is that baby? What's his name?
Wait, is that
Big
Oliver
Baby.
Miller?
Is that Big Baby?
Is that Oliver Miller?
Like he had really unproductive years.
Yeah.
And those were years 32 years old, 34 years, like as soon as he hit his early 30s, he was already peaked, but he was so dominant during that time. We think of him as a top 4 center of all time. But the point of what I'm getting at is Victor will get bigger. He just turned 20 in January.
Mhm.
The guy's maturity is off the charts.
Mhm.
He's got his head on straight. I think that he's going to be a force for a long time to come, but there's no bigger time to invest in a dude than when they're at the brink of the end of their rookie year.
Yeah.
He's really, that's where you see the meteoric rise. And I don't know. I mean, Fanatics is putting their money behind this guy.
Yeah.
He is their
As they
horse.
As they should.
And so we don't know what that'll look like going forward. But he's how many days away from getting Rookie of the Year? Probably less than 2 months from getting Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And he's now running away with it. Chet and him were like, ooh, who's going to win? He's running away with it.
I mean, he kind of ran away when he blocked Chet's shot at the point of Zach, but okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
where it changed right
that's
there.
Well, and now it's like there's a nightly highlight of him doing something whimsical that we haven't seen a guy that big do.
What he did last night was insane. Not only did he block the shot, who is it against?
GG Jackson, who's
GG
been
Jackson.
out of his mind.
I mean,
recently.
it was like a volleyball spike shot. He grabs it. He races down the floor as the lead person on the fast break. He passes it. They throw it back to him. I think it was Vassell that threw an alley oop to him.
Yeah.
And he double clutched, jumping from like 3/4 of the free throw line and just double clutch dunked it.
Is he a monster?
And I was like,
He is
dude, this
monster.
is ridiculous. You're straight up Space Jam right now.
Yes, and put him in the dunk contest. Victor, hop in the dunk
That'd be
contest.
so awesome if he did a dunk where he never left the ground. What if he just stretched and just dunked?
Oh my!
He probably
gosh.
could.
Somebody else do this. Come on, somebody else
Yeah.
should come out and do
Yeah,
this.
this is the Ian horse that we're about to play. So Wemby in the grand scheme of things, Emil is a hold. I'm gonna get rid of it. If I had the 1 of 1 black shimmer, but that is no, black shimmer is black. It was the black prism 1 of 1,
Yeah.
and it got graded a PSA 10. It'd be out of my hands so fast because it's a life-changing dollar.
And that's different. Again, if I was put in that position of offered that much money, I would definitely think about it. Absolutely, because that is life-altering money. I think with Wemby, as a basketball fan myself and watching his progression, I think it's going to be more on the Kareem side of things and the Shaq side, because I think he understands how to be a professional at such a young age. I think that's really important.
Let's talk about this. So what happens when a card gets pulled? The card gets pulled. So we were fortunate enough in Northern California to pull some big cards at shops.
Yeah.
And we at True Sports Cards had our customer pull the CJ Stroud 1 of 1 out of the Mosaic. Now we knew that the Prism 1 of 1 will be a bigger card, and obviously has been. But at the time, the Mosaic football, there was no bigger card of CJ Stroud that was pulled in the entire world, except for the one that came out of our shop. So we saw that. Now the question is, and Shep, you've been doing this a long time and more recent, does the product's value go down as an unopened product once the massive card has been hit? We saw that recently with, I believe it was Definitive, when there was 2 cards. There was an Ohtani 1 of 1 with Babe Ruth and an Ohtani 1 of 1 with Babe Ruth. One was a pitching, one was a hitting.
Yes.
And the Definitive, it was Definitive was the product. And the pitching one was pulled the first day.
Yep.
So what happens to a product, Shep?
There's a drop. I mean, it's not a significant drop, but now that both the black 1 of 1s of the shimmer and the true black, your daddy's black, as some people call it, like the original black parallel, both got pulled. You will see a drop in the market in these boxes, but again, it becomes a little more affordable, and now the average guy is able to collect that product a little bit more. Now it doesn't help a shop when you go and you buy a product at a price and it falls down because the market or card gets pulled, the market changes a little bit.
Yeah.
But still, there are other color in that. There are other numbered Wembies, and again, this is what I love. It's a love-hate with him not having a Panini exclusive a deal so we can have rookie autographs and Panini product with him. But what it does is it takes it back to what I call 90s collecting, where refractors are cool.
Yeah.
These numbered cards of Wemby from no matter what set you're collecting, if it's especially like Court Kings, super sneaky product this year with the different levels of rookies and Wemby's in there. But these Wemby rookies will continue to hold value, so it's still a good product. But yes, I think we'll see a small decline in box pricing, especially for the hobby box
or interest.
Yes, but I think there'll be more. I think you're going to see retail, those like those mega boxes, those blasters. People are going to still chase those. Definitely, I think we're going to see, and those will stay. But I think the hobby box will come down to a little bit in price, but it should be because it's to me it's way too expensive for what you're getting. I feel bad, but that's what the market is, and I'm in this, and I still don't understand the market sometimes on these products.
They're selling from between $10.50 and $11.50 a box.
Yes.
Right now, we have it underpriced on our shelf at the moment. I was just thinking to myself,
yeah,
well, we're underpriced. We
have a good value on it.
We only have 2 boxes left. We're under $1,000.
Yeah.
So I anticipate that if somebody's there at our shop, they're going to end up picking up these boxes because we're underpriced by about $100 than market. But I don't know. Emil, do you stop buying a box? You're a ripper. So do you stop buying a box if you know that the biggest card is gone?
It'll sway me. It'll be in consideration for sure. It'll sway me potentially from buying the box, but I'll also be thinking about, okay. And again, this is why I'm very invested in the collecting part of it. I go through card ladders, see what the sales have been, see how many of what's been pulled, because I know there are different parallels out there, and I do a lot of research. I mean, the Prism Cracked Ice Blue of Wemby Prism went to 125, sold for $4,000 last month. That was the 125. You wouldn't say that's amazingly rare. There's 125 copies.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot of value even in these boxes for the price of it. It's just, do you want to take that gamble knowing you cannot get the best of the best because it's already been pulled?
I think what ends up happening is the product stays liquid and high priced. If something unique is going on outside of the actual value of the card. So how much is a Connor Bedard card 2023-24 Topps, Upper Deck Series 2 rookie card 1 of 1 going for? Is it worth a certain amount? It's worth a certain amount, but because David Adams have put out a bounty for $1 million for that card,
The Young Guns one, right?
yeah, the card's worth $1 million
Because
because
somebody put a price
somebody
on
put
it.
a price on it. And if that 1 of 1 was pulled, it's just a regular card. It's not autographed. It doesn't have anything to it. It's just stamped 1 of 1. If that card is pulled, what would it sell in the open market if it didn't have a bounty on it? Probably
I would
80,000.
no. I still think he would be in the hundreds of thousands because he is what they're looking as the new Connor McDavid, the new superstar in hockey. He is their guy that they have not had in 5 to 8 years come into the league.
But the premium product is the cup.
Correct.
So if they did a 1-on-1 version of the cup, then that would exceed the value of that.
But the problem with that is that in its Upper Deck's production, the cup from 2 years ago just was released 2 months ago.
Agreed. Yeah,
they're
way
so
behind.
far behind. Bernard will be a veteran when his rookie card comes out.
Yeah.
But people in hockey, and I don't collect hockey. I don't watch hockey. I'd love to. I didn't as a kid, so it's not in me to do it.
Playoff hockey over everything.
Yeah. And the playoff beards too.
Yeah.
But I have, friends that do collect hockey. So I ask them every year, what young guns do I get? Because it is the card that you want of that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they
It's
have
like-
this
it's
one
like
of
it-
one
it's-
platinum,
Yeah, it's like Prism
correct.
versus like NT.
Yes. And it still holds that there's something about it that with hockey collectors, it's been there since day one. When Upper Deck came out in 1990, the Young Gun was in there. It's not in every pack. You only get 6 Young Gun rookies a box. It's the only way to get a rookie card.
You know,
So
it's like
they put value into it.
it's like 89 Griffey.
Correct.
Oh, I have an 89 Griffey rookie card, and then you go, that's awesome, and then you see it, and then they show you the Don Russ version, and you're like, oh, that's cool, but we all are
Want
thinking
the
Upper Deck. Yeah, we're
You
all thinking
think
Upper
that.
Deck.
And so when you think his rookie card, you're going to think that Young Gun.
Yeah.
And
So that's, I would tell you that I just feel like knowing checklists are really important. Understanding what's a redemption versus not. Like, for example, NT basketball 3 years ago, when the LaMelo year, all that stuff was redemption in a lot of cases. So when does the redemption end? When Panini loses their license with the league in 5 years, would that redemption still be valid? Probably not. I don't even think he signed his cards.
No, he didn't. He didn't sign. There's a whole bunch of unredeemed
So-
redemptions. And
So as
Signed a
products
few, but-
as products get older, and there's redemptions in them, and it's unlikely to get pulled, that you're going to get the redemption sign. It's a tough place to be in because you're sitting there going, do I even invest in this box knowing that I can't get the major card? Because at least if you're buying it and opening it within the time frame of a redemption, you're going to get the likely redemption card in your hand.
No, it goes back. 2020 Bowman had Luis Robert in it, and he was a redemption auto. When that expired earlier this year, or last year it was because it's 3 years, those box prices got cut in half because it was him and Bobby Witt. They were the 2 big chase cards in that for autographs. And when his redemption was expired, those box prices went. And
Yeah, but
bottom
did
fell out.
you see what ended up happening? So do you remember who's the Topps Chrome that had Wander on the front of it? What year is that? 22?
Yep.
So they screwed up because they didn't include some of the rookies in there. So they
Correct.
made it up by
The
doing silver
packs.
packs.
Yep.
And the Louis Robert cards, the Louis Robert cards that didn't go into
Topps
the
Chrome the year
into
before
the-
or 2 years before.
went into the silver packs.
Yes, because we had a
'Cause they
customer pull it. Remember?
Yeah, it was nuts. So they took unredeemed cards and went, well, what are we supposed to do with them? Well, we screwed up over here, so let's put them in these silver packs that we're going to give away. Unique situation. This leads to our final thing that I want to talk about before we end our show. We're going to end in about 7 minutes. Let's talk about this. 2024 Topps Chrome UFC.
Oh,
And I'm pointing at Emil because he loves this stuff. The guy was texting me, hey, mate, you up? I'm like, yo, what's up? You got the UFC Chrome coming in? Anybody?
I just hopped in a
Anybody?
break the other night with you guys.
Yeah. So Emil is a big fan. Talk about the product, Emil. You can pull up
Pulling
the
up
information.
Right now.
Yeah.
Give me
So
1 second.
Emil is a huge fan of not only UFC, but he also loves on-card autos, specifically of these fighters. Emil, go ahead and tell us about the UFC. It came out this past week.
Yeah.
It's been a hot seller for us. Talk to us.
Yeah, this is what makes this unique this year is that it came out of nowhere too, because Panini had the license for what 3 years, and that's it. And then all of a sudden, UFC just took it back, or Topps just took it back. They took back UFC with the acquire of TKO, which is now under the same umbrella of UFC and WWE. Topps got that license back, so now Topps is in charge of UFC and WWE products again. So Topps Chrome came back. Now, what makes Topps Chrome interesting? Topps Chrome is interesting because that's what it used to be a part of using it during the 2010s with John Jones, Conor McGregor. It was all Topps Chrome. Now, inside the box, 2 autos, 24 refractor cards, 20 unnumbered base parallels, and then 4 numbered base parallels and 20 insert cards. 8 cards per pack, 12 packs per box is the breakdown. And what I like about this product, though, is that's at an affordable price. I mean, Emmer, what do they have?
We
in
have it
your
at
shop?
$249.
That's
$249 a box,
For 2 autos, that's affordable.
and they're on card. Let me step back for a second.
Majority
Are they
of
on card? Yeah, almost all of them.
The
are.
Aspinall, I'm pretty sure, was a sticker that I
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you get that card?
Yes.
Good for you.
And we also have blasters for 30 too.
$30 for the
Little
blasters.
taste.
Now, here's the unique thing that Topps has been doing, and I love their gimmicks. I really do. They've been doing a really good job. Remember, Topps is owned by Fanatics. I love their gimmicks, and they used the Topps buyback program this past year for Topps Chrome. So what they did was they said, buy Topps Chrome and save who you believe is going to win the MVP, because those will be redemptions at your local card shop, ones that participate like us, and you can get the NL or AL MVP Topps Chrome card and redeem it for credit at your local card shop. Well, we had over $15,000 worth of redemptions that were given to us at the shop, and people were excited because they brought in their Otanis and they brought in their Acuñas, and they're like, do I get credit for this? And the answer is yes, absolutely. And then Topps pays it back to us as a card shop.
Yeah.
We don't make any money from it, but it drives people to the business, as well as sells the Topps Chrome product as well. Now they're doing that with this UFC product too. It's really unique. Are you familiar with it, Shep? You want to talk about it?
Well, I don't know who's in the fight.
Sure.
Because UFC is different. I don't follow UFC, but they have a fight come up the 300th, right? And the winner of that's in this product, bring it in. They're going to be doing a similar type redemption of basically bringing in earn store credit, and we send it. We take care of it on the back end.
So-
But you get to come in and shop.
So it's for UFC 300.
300.
Yep.
So I'm going to look at the date when UFC 300
April
is.
13th.
April 13th. So it's just a few weeks away. It's Jamal Hill
Yep.
versus Alex Pereira is how you
I'm
pronounce
picking
it.
Alex Perdita.
I'm picking Pereira. Well, I haven't invested.
I don't
in
even
that, that's
know, but
why.
I just sound like that. He sounds like a fighter.
Well,
And-
do you know what his nickname is? Poeton. Stone hands.
Oh,
He is the only guy.
Done.
Yeah.
I think he beat Izzy twice.
Yes,
He
he beat one in kickboxing and one in at UFC.
So he is the current light heavyweight champion,
Mhm.
Alex Pereira, and it's spelled Pereira.
Yes.
And he's fighting against Jamal Hill, who was the former champion, but didn't lose it by losing.
He had to forfeit
He forfeit because he was injured,
towards Achilles last
which
year.
then turned into a fight for the interim. The guys fought. It was Izzy and him, right?
No, it was
was-
Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prohaska.
Okay,
That was
Yuri, that's
in
right.
November, I believe, and Pereira knocked out. A little controversial because it was a weird stoppage, but it was probably the right decision. Pereira was going to clean him up on the ground. And Pereira now is in 2 years in the UFC is now the 9th only person ever to hold 2 titles in 2 divisions.
So here he is. That fight, Pereira versus Hill, on April
13.
13th. The winner of that is the redemption.
correct.
And so if you have a base card, we broke a box on Whatnot the other night. Emil was part of that break. He bought into that break. And
On the whole box.
somebody pulled, I was thumbing through and I go, oh, Jamal Hill. This is important
Mhm.
because if he wins, that base card is a $20 credit at our store.
Wow.
So if you get a refractor version, it's $40. If you get numbered refractors, it can go all the way up to $200 credit.
Crazy.
And you don't have to buy UFC products. You can buy anything from it in that case.
Yep.
So here we are. We're just about finished. And Shep and I are going to get in the car. I don't know. Are you going to the show too?
Yeah, I got to stop by the bank, but I'll be there.
This guy.
Rob the bank.
Yeah, he's going to be.
Bring it.
Yeah, I have to go stop by the bank so I can look at my bank account and it goes.
It's been a crying month.
In fact, Nate, there's only one sound when I look at my bank account because that's exactly how I feel.
It just laughs at you.
Thank you for me, Nate, Big Shep,
Love you guys.
and Emil Fregoso. We're here at the True Sports Card Show every Saturday at 10 a.m. We'll see you next Saturday. But if you're working right now, head over to the Wyndham Hotel off of Madison. And
Don't forget to visit us at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road
Got
in
the
Rockland.
address right. Look at that.
916-259-1993.
And last thing, don't forget to meet us over at the
Art show.
True Sports
Expo.
Galleria. Don't forget we
Galleria.
have 2 locations
The
now.
Galleria.
All right, Nate, thanks for everything this morning for everybody. We'll see you next week.
Keep it here to Sacktown Sports for the Sacramento Kings.